All right, so let's talk about multiplicities of zeros. So there's a general rule with multiplicities of zero. So our multiplicities. If you have a multiplicity, and this is we're going to talk about the exponents. If you have an even multiplicity, your graph is going to touch and turn on the x-axis. Oh, I just can't spell today. Start it again. X-axis. Okay, so if you have even multiplicity, it's going to touch and turn. It means how many times does it occur? And we'll talk about that a little more in detail in a second. If you have odd multiplicity, your graph is going to pass through the x-axis. Okay, so what does that mean? So here I have a function f of x equals x plus 4 quantity cubed times x minus 7 quantity squared times x plus 1. All right, so to find the x-intercepts, this is already in factored form. We are simply going to set each of the factors equal to 0. Wow, on fire now. Now from here, we know that this cube and this square is going to go away, but that's where we get our multiplicities from. That's telling us something about the graph. We know that right here, x is going to occur at -4. We know that x is going to occur at 7, and we know x here is -1. But now I want to look at my exponents. 3 is an odd number. So at -4, it's an odd number, means it's an odd multiplicity. It's going to pass through the x-axis. At 7, it's an even exponent, so it's going to be an even multiplicity, and it's going to touch and turn on the x-axis. And at -1, well, this is just to the first power, which is odd, means it'll pass through. So generally what this graph would be doing, I have a -4, -1, and a 7. The end behavior of this, let's see, 3, 5, 6, it's going up and up. I'm not going to take the time to calculate the y-intercept on this one. But we know here it's going to pass through, it's going to turn somewhere, it's going to pass through, cross the y-axis, it's going to turn again, and it's going to touch and bounce, or touch and turn on the x-axis. Now, this point here and this other turning point, you need calculus to find. You can find the y-intercept by simply plugging 0 in and doing your arithmetic to find the actual y-intercept. But really about this is multiplicity. If, when you have it in fully factored form, your exponent is odd, it's going to pass through the x-axis. It's an odd multiplicity. If your exponent is even, that means when it gets to that x-intercept, it's going to touch the x-axis and turn. It's going to bounce off the x-axis, kind of like what this does. It's bouncing off, or it touches at that x-intercept and then bounces, and it turns around and goes back in the same direction. That's even and odd multiplicity. Hi, I'm Mr. Buzzard, and these videos are supplemental instruction for my students. If you found the video enjoyable, make sure you click the like button and click subscribe, as well as the bell for notifications to receive future videos on high school mathematics.